Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Eden. Grace, sorry, I just pulled up your chat and me too. I was ready for Friday when I woke up. Yes, it was bad. I think this time of year is just the roughest for being in school because like the beginning of the year gets broken up by like actual fun things. Like I mean, I know you guys like aren't like trick or treating or anything for Halloween, but Halloween like it's still a fun time. Like it's still a night where you go and you can watch like spooky movies and stuff. And then you got Thanksgiving in November, which is the next month. And then you got Christmas. It's a good time. Like the whole fall is a good time. And then it's like after Christmas, nothing for months. Exactly. See, at least the spring is a little bit fun to me because I felt like I celebrated my birthday last week. So that kind of like picks this time of year up for me. But otherwise, it's totally blah. We need like a random like a dance holiday or something. Like luau party time. I don't know. Just something to break up the monotony. Grace, that's a vibe. Yep. Just wake up and it's like, nope, time to go back to bed. Now, as an adult, I've managed to motivate myself. This is my primary method of motivation. I'm like, well, if I have to get up, I could go to Dunkin'. Good morning, Lexi. I'm sorry, guys, about the no music night. My computer goes through temper tantrums every other day, and I don't know which temper tantrum it's going to have. So, unfortunately today's temper tantrum was that it didn't want anything to load and open. So I wasn't about to argue with the music. Good morning, Cody. Good morning, Shanae. And Cody, if you can't tell, our very first piece for today is your video. I made sure it was in the Nearpod. Goodness gracious. That's windy. Good morning, Rain and Addie and Miss Graham.
Good morning.
I know, I'm very excited to see Cody's video today. So Miss Graham, we were just talking that I was telling Cody I got his video uploaded into the Nearpod specially, so we didn't have
Oh,
any trouble viewing it this morning.
that's amazing. I'm so excited.
I
Good
am
morning,
too.
Cody.
And I agree, Grace. Cody is very talented.
Yes.
Okay, stop, Cody. Stop being modest because, like, it's good. Trust me, it's not me trying to play the banjo, which would be entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I maybe could go for a job in comedy if teaching doesn't work out for me, but good good morning, Jean. Okay, so this recording. Okay, so yeah, okay. Grace asked a good question, Cody. Do you here? Wait, I'll set it so you can. So like, oh wait, it is set to everybody. So you can say to everybody, Grace, so Cody can see. But guys, yeah, Cody, do you play any other instruments? Like, do you play guitar, or is it just banjo? And anyway, since we've got everybody, mostly, I think your great grandpa's trying to teach you some things on guitar. Okay, that's a okay. So like, it's all like the men in your family. So your like grandpa, your great grandpa, and your dad. That's some generational talent right there. Oh, your dad doesn't play though. Okay, I mean that happens sometimes. Somebody's just like, nope, it's not for me.
Yeah, that's real.
Been there, tried that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we're going to listen to the great and magnificent Cody.
Yes.
Okay, Cody. So I don't see how that's not professional. We're gonna need a bluegrass concert before we get to the end of the year. So I'm just saying you're gonna have to work on compiling a whole bunch of these videos together because that's what's happening. And if anybody else wants to contribute to said concert, it's
Oh
okay,
yeah.
Jalen. I was having the same problem actually. So no worries. Okay, so yesterday, Jalen wants to know if you do weddings, Cody.
Aw.
Oh, Cody, listen. Like, don't even worry about messing up. Like that was pure talent right there. Like, trust me. There's messing up and then there's like make a mistake here and there. Okay, so we did the see, your classmates are cheering you on. Jalen says you're really good and you could really go places with that. And I 100% agree. Like,
Oh.
get yourself together, little like grandpa family band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So Cody says his cousin volunteered them to go play a short show in the next couple months. Good for your cousin. I'm glad your cousin's forcing you. Jalen says she'll buy tickets, Cody. You just tell her where to be. All right, so we're gonna do a short booklet for Casabianca before we read the poem today. Um, you know what? Since I'm in a bluegrass mood, let's do some fishing. We'll have a whole theme today. All right, guys. So here, I know that drives me and Miss Graham crazy. I'm gonna put that on silent, but I did put the booklet link into the chat. All right, we got Cody. I like it, Shanae. Yes, Jalen, you may eat your breakfast. Thank you for asking. You guys are so cute. Okay, so Cody says he's working on a different couple of songs. Oh, so your cousin owns a studio. Oh, so we're gonna hear these professionally recorded.
Yes.
Oh, I am stoked,
Drop the
Cody.
Spotify link. Amazing. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
I'm so excited. All right, well, in honor of Cody, while you guys are playing this booklet, I will try to get some bluegrass on through Spotify. Maybe it won't yell at me now. Let's see if we can do this bluegrass mix. Okay, this is really good for a Tuesday morning.
Wait, this is perfect.
He's the dobro, make the sunshine. Our emotions of sorrow and pain. F for the festivals in sun and rain. G is the guitar, a box with 6 strings. H is heaven, where angels sing. Hi, Derry, hey, Derry, oh, Derry. So happy, so happy, so happy are we when we're together in harmony. That make up the band. JR Jam Sessions held across the land. K is Kentucky, where bluegrass is king. L's high lonesome, the way Bill sings. Hi Derry, hey Derry, oh Derry down. Just listen to bluegrass and nothing goes wrong. So happy, so happy, so
The true story.
are we when we're together in harmony. Emmett's for Big Mon, a father to us. N is new grass, now just what's the fuss? O is for old time, string bands and such. P's a pickin', we love so much. Hi Derry, hey Derry, oh Derry down. Just listen to bluegrass and nothing goes wrong. So happy, so happy, so happy are we when we're together in harmony. Quartets, their tenors so high. R is the rhythm, the guitar supplies. S are the strings, we busted a few. T's traditional, grass that's true blue. Hi Derry, hey Derry, oh Derry down. Just listen to bluegrass and nothing goes wrong. So happy, so happy, so happy are we when we're together in harmony. U is unlimited, a great magazine. V is Virginia, with its hills so green. W are the women, their music's divine. X, Y, Z, can't get a line. Hi Derry, hey Derry, oh Derry down. Just listen to bluegrass and nothing goes wrong. So happy, so happy, so happy are we when we're together in harmony.
Carolina called you to go. Seems like summer sure came early. You know
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for your participation in our book it. Jalen says, I know that you need to have your breakfast. If you would like the vocab list that we just did, or honestly anybody else, I will stick the vocab list in the chat. You got rainbow jellyfish. I love that fishing game. It's so much fun. There's so many I like little froggies. Okay. So guys, here this is the vocab list link. Because there is a vocab quiz on these words that goes along with this. So you can take that today. Guys, I put the due date is Friday, so you know you have plenty of time to do it. And Sinead, that's exciting. You got the heavy crowds. They're worth a lot of points. So guys, based on these words, we can take a guess that we are going to be talking at some point about a ship. Guys, lucky for you, I just have to be a massive historical nerd. And one thing that I'm like super duper obsessed with is parts of ships. So if something pops up and you're like, what's that? There's a good chance I can answer that for you. Is what this boils down to. I also actually think that the battle we're talking about is a French battle, which just chef's kiss for me.
Oh, yes. That's lovely.
Cody hit us up with our West Virginia vocab word of the day, which is pick a banger. I think we should have a West Virginia vocab word of the day.
That's real.
Okay, so we're gonna go and take a look at this poem in the text. And I also put that in the chat for you. Okay, and we're gonna do this the same way that we did before. So that, pardon me, for our asynchronous students who aren't here, we can upload this as the text to read aloud for today. So we'll kind of give some context as we read through the poem. And Miss Graham and I'll take turns just like we did before.
Yes.
All right, so we start with the boy stood on the burning deck. Once all but him had fled, the flame that lit the battle's wreck shone round him o'er the dead. So again, guys, I alluded that this is going to be about a ship during a battle. And so right off, we start that the deck is burning and that everyone who had been around him is now gone. They've fled, they've left, and he's surrounded by flames.
Yet beautiful and bright he stood, as born to rule the storm, a creature of heroic blood, a proud, though childlike form. And he is just proudly standing in the middle of all of the destruction, like a royal person.
The flames rolled on, he would not go without his father's word. That father faint and death below, his voice no longer heard. So guys, I already am thinking about the biography that we read about Felicia Hemans, which is that her husband was a naval captain and that he had many children, but he had abandoned them. And so like I'm already seeing here, we're talking about a warship. We have a child that's alone on a burning deck, waiting essentially for his father's permission to abandon ship, which we know is something that is not done lightly. by anyone in the military, but his father is not within like hearing distance.
He called aloud, "Say, Father, say, if yet my task is done." He knew not that the chieftain lay unconscious of his son. He's crying out to his dad, saying, "Am I done yet? You know, is this all good?" But the dad is like unconscious somewhere. Maybe he's already dead.
Speak, father, once again he cried, if I may yet be gone. But the booming shots replied, and fast the flames rolled on. So again, he's calling out to see if he can abandon his position. But again, they're in the middle of a battle, so it's very loud. There's shots of the booming shots are probably cannon fire, as well as gunfire. And again, the ship is quickly burning.
Upon his brow he felt their breath, and in his waving hair, and looked from that lone post of death in still yet brave despair. So he could feel like the breath of the flames on his face, in his hair. They breathe, but his dad is not breathing. So um yeah, but the boy is brave. The boy is brave despite all of this. Um and he's like not leaving the ship still. He's just standing there.
And shouted but once more aloud, my father must I stay, where o'er him fast through sail and shroud the wreathing fires made way. So I really like this kind of comparison between a sail and a shroud. So guys, if you're not familiar what a shroud is, it's usually a piece of cloth that's placed over a body that has died. It can be blackened. And so guys, if you think about like this ship that's burning, the sail, when it says through sail and shroud, well, the sails are almost becoming shrouds themselves, because as they're burning up and falling, they're covering the dead bodies on the deck of the ship. Which is kind of like, I would say this is like a very gothic image right here. And the boy is scared because, he sees that other more adult like individuals have just made their choice. They've chosen to abandon ship. They've all abandoned their posts, but he's torn between his duty and, because it sounds like his father may be the captain of the ship, he feels like he has even more of a duty because that's his father. And so it's okay if other people neglect their duties, but it's even more sort of unseemly for a son to abandon his father and the duties that the father had given him. And so he's still staying when he really should or would be encouraged to maybe leave where he is.
Beautiful. They wrapped the ship in splendor wild, they caught the flag on high, and streamed above the gallant child like banners in the sky. So we just have this image of the flames again. It's like they're personified to be something that they're not. Like, I wouldn't say human-like, but maybe it's not personification. But I think what's important about this part is like what Miss Johnson said. This is very gothic and like the sublime part, so it's beautiful. They're making the fire sound really beautiful, even though it's really scary and close to death.
And guys, after this, I'm actually going to show you a few famous portraits and pictures that I think is probably what I like either would have given inspiration to a poem like this, or that you could compare to this poem and say, oh wow, like I really see what's happening. So we'll kind of give you some visual things as well of battles and of ships. So we have, there came a burst of thunder sound. The boy, oh, where was he? Ask of the winds that far around with fragments strewed the sea. All right, guys. So we know that we heard a burst that sounded like thunder. So we can imagine that probably a cannon struck somewhere near where the boy was standing. That would have sent him sort of flying into the air off of the ship, because it says you have to ask of the winds that far around with fragments strew the sea. And so he's now sort of become a part of the chaos of the scene.
With mast and helm and pennon fair, that well had borne their part, but the noblest thing that perished there was that young faithful heart. So sad. So at the end, we're kind of getting the imagery of all the parts of the boat. You can see them, and they did their job, but among those are the boy, and the boy was like the noblest part of the whole battle, of the whole ship, and had faith to his father, even in death.
Okay. So guys, like I said, I knew this was about a very specific battle, but I forgot what it was because I had been looking it up when I knew we were going to do this. So it says that the poem commemorates an actual incident that occurred in 1798 during the Battle of the Nile between the British and French fleets on August 1st aboard the French flagship L'Orient. So what I'm going to try to do, because typically when there are historic battles like this, there are also, yeah, here we go. There's typically a historical painting that goes around with it. So guys, this is the scene that is, so this is a painting by Thomas Looney. So L'Orient, the one that the boy is supposedly on, is this one in the center. Okay, so you can see it's a very chaotic scene. Even if you tried to escape, you can see here there are people in the rowboats. There's not necessarily enough for everybody. All right, and so imagine just this lone boy standing aboard the top deck of the ship as it's burning and it's on fire. So guys, this is where we really get our idea of the romantic from as well. Okay, is the poem about a real child? No. All right, but the Felicia Hemans used her imagination. She heard of this battle. She heard of the chaos. She has her own child. She has a husband who is part of the Navy, and she uses her imagination, this imagery of nature conflicting with war and conflict, to create this. And again, we had this idea of the sublime, right? Because the boy is a hero in the technical sense. He is part of the Navy. He is following orders. He's doing what he should. He is standing up to the enemy. Okay, all of those are very heroic, gallant traits. And yet it is incredibly tragic. It shows us mortality, because there is very little chance, even from the beginning, we see of this child surviving.
I like that you
Okay.
showed the painting.
I think it's important because actually guys, like, this is, sometimes I get a little confused between like what is like traditional French learning and traditional American learning. So like one thing that I learned in my French literature classes was to take inspiration from art to create literature. Like that's actually like outrightly taught in like French literature courses. And it wasn't something that I had so much in my English literature courses, but I really liked it. It's a unique concept that art can inspire art.
Yeah, I love it. I can read the overview.
Okie dokie.
So Casabianca starts out with the well-known line, "The boy stood on the burning deck." The story relates an extraordinary incident of devotion and heroism witnessed during the Battle of the Nile between the French and the English. During the battle, the French ship L'Orient, surrounded by the English, was set ablaze. On the burning deck, a boy was seen standing alone. He was Casabianca, the 12-year-old son of one of the ship's officers. He stood alone at his post, surrounded by flames and facing the astonished English foe. Soon afterward, the fire reached the powder magazine deep down in the hold. The boy perished when the whole ship erupted in a massive explosion. The account of the boy who stood on that burning deck has been told and retold over the years. Eventually, it passed on into legend. The story remains a classic example of devotion and faithful service.
So, guys, I misspoke when I said she made the whole story up. So, the poem, yes, it was a story that sort of became a legend that she then decided to personify into a poem. But it's really cool because that's sort of what we see happen when we read The Thorn, right? It was about a story of this crazy woman who stood on the top of the mountain, almost like a local legend or something like that. Then that the author decides, okay, well, there's this local town legend, and I'm going to put this into a poem and tell my own story about it. Oh, Cody, I'm sorry. I will get you the Nearpod link. Just say the word. Okay, so guys, first we have an emoji check-in. So select an emoji that depicts how you feel about Casabianca. You can either pick one, like just tell us the number and the letter, circle it, type it in it for yourself. Grace, I like that. I'm actually gonna say, for me, like I'm an emotional wreck this week, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick
Feel
that
that.
one. It's also probably because like being of someone of like beginning parental age, thinking about a child standing on the deck in loyalty to his father, like from a motherly standpoint, like it's almost like I'm mad at the father. Like, why didn't you get the kid out of there?
I know. It's very like sad for me
Yes.
too. Like this poor
Tonight,
kid.
head explosion. Cody says B1. It was a sad, yeah, for me, it was very sad. Although on the flip side, I think like if I was in the middle of a battle, like that's a pretty badass stance to be like 12 years old staring into the eyes of your enemy while like the ship explodes around you.
Yeah, for real.
Perspective, that was a way to go. That was a choice. Yes. Addison also said B1. And did anybody, Alexis, sad face, agreed, and Cody, slightly different sad faces. Okay, that is fair enough. Okay, so, pardon me, guys. So we want to talk about how the following themes can be seen in this poem. So we have bravery as a theme, sacrifice as a theme, patriotism as a theme, responsibility as a theme, and discipline as a theme. So if you guys are okay with this, what I would like to do, since I know like who typically responds, Cody, if I could give you bravery, then in the little bravery spot on yours, you don't have to do the other ones right now. If you could fill out how bravery is seen in this poem. Grace, if you could do patriotism and then just fill out how you see it in there. And then Addie, if you could do sacrifice Shanae, if you could do responsibility, and then Jalen, I don't know how you're doing. If you could do discipline, and if not, we'll just do that one together. And so I'll give you guys a couple minutes, and then I should be able to see when you're done, and then we'll share everybody's answers and then fill them out together. Is that okay, guys? Okay, awesome.
I love a jigsaw. This is good.
That's what I thought. I'm like, we don't often, I'm like, we've tried the breakout rooms, which has been semi-unsuccessful. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Everybody's a wee bit shy in this class, and that's a-okay. We can work around it. Yes, Addie, I'm so sorry. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to forget you. Bad teacher. Cody. I think I read through yours and I was like, oh, this is good stuff. Let me double check. Yeah, I liked what you said, Cody.
I have an annoying cough, so I keep muting myself. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh, I do. It's called having asthma in the spring. It's
Okay, you're right. Thank you.
And let me just say, it's a constant cough from about mid-March to like the end of June.
Oh, gosh. You see me.
Suffering at
know.
its finest. Shanae, I saw what you were writing and it was great. And then it disappeared. Are you having technical difficulties? Or did you change your mind? If you changed your mind, that's totally fine. Okay, well, listen, everybody's looks wonky to them. It's okay. Do you want help? I can help you. Tell me in the chat what you were trying to say, and then I'll help you word it. That's everybody here is just doing the best. It's okay.
That's all we can do.
It is. Listen, I think I told you guys before, but I'm gonna say it again. Life, the more serious you take it, the harder of a time you're going to have. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. And so, you do your best. Oh, Shanae, I wasn't thinking about that, but see, that's why I said I think you were maybe like criticizing yourself, but I like how you just saying that. I think you should write exactly what you just said in the chat, to be honest. And I think it's a great different perspective. And Jalen, I meant to say, if your Nearpod isn't working, you could just put your answer in the chat and then I can copy paste it into the Nearpod. And Cody, this is where you're going to help me out a little bit, okay? Because all I can do is click through the different responses. Yeah, there really wasn't much to put in today, Cody, except for maybe that overview of the poem. But what I was going to say for this, Cody, if everybody doesn't have the opportunity, or like if we're having technical difficulties to like write down what every other person said, we really only need it all on one person's Nearpod. It's going to be hard for me to do that as I click through the different ones. So do you think that you could put it on yours and then we can take the screenshot of yours and then upload that one to the notes? And that'll be the completed one. Okay. Jalen, that'll give you an extra minute to keep working. And then if the Nearpod doesn't work for what you're doing, then just put whatever you were trying to say into the chat and we'll add it for discipline. And then I think we got most of them or all of them. And if we missed one, that's okay too. Okay. So starting with bravery. So Cody said the theme of bravery is seen by how the boy never gave up and abandoned ship when everyone else did. He knew his duties and that he would be told when to abandon ship. So his bravery during that battle is great because he stayed at his post through the thick of it, even though he could have done something else, he didn't. I have no notes. I think that accurately describes his bravery. And if you just think about the additional information that we read in the overview, his bravery was so great that he shocked the other grown men of the other side of the battle, the British. They were completely mind blown to the point where this became a legend because they were like, no, that child was braver than all of us. Patty, I'll give you another minute unless you're done, but it looks like you're still working on sacrifice, which is totally fine. We'll come back to oh, you are done. Okay. I just didn't want to rush you. Thank you for helping us out with that one. Okay, go back. Can I turn it on student pace? That should be a possibility. Jalen, try that. I did just turn it on. Okay, so we have sacrifice is sown through the son. He sacrifices his life in a selfless act. Yeah, I think we don't really have many other characters that are involved in this aside from the boy's father, who he thinks the father is alive.
Yeah.
Even though he's probably either dead or unconscious. Well, it does say he's unconscious at that point. So if he wasn't dead then, he certainly died when the whole ship exploded. So yeah, I would say the only person capable of sacrifice in this was the boy, which he did. So nicely done. Oh, I'm sorry, Cody. Was that too fast for you? Are you good? Okay. Next. I think Grace. Okay, so Grace did our patriotism. So we have in, don't forget, it's not Casablanca. That's a different story, but that's okay. So we have in Casabianca, patriotism is shown through the characters making sacrifices for the good. Oh, wait, no, you did do Casablanca. Okay. That would kind of be maybe our contemporary comparison. So, Cody, what we're going to do for this patriotism, we're going to write contemporary comparison because I still like a good contemporary comparison. And it was talking about a battle. So we have the characters making sacrifices for the good. Yes, Jalen, because we're all sharing the one that we did with everybody else. And then Cody's putting them all together in one, and then we'll take a look at Cody's. But you don't have to write them all down because that would take everybody 3,000 years and we only need one. Okay, so all I want you to add, you can write what Grace wrote, but we're going to write in front of it contemporary comparison. Just so that we don't get Casablanca mixed up with Casabianca, but it is a good show of patriotism. And we've been doing contemporary comparisons, so I think it's good to keep.
All right, y'all. I gotta skedaddle.
Oh my gosh, it is 9:51.
Yeah. So good job today, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow if you come to office hours or Thursday.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so also here, everything that you guys wrote, as long as you hit submit, will save. And then, yeah, so guys, we'll come back to this tomorrow because that was my fault. I totally got lost on time. And we'll finish up responsibility and discipline. Or not tomorrow, goodness gracious, because tomorrow's office hours. We'll wrap this up on Thursday. And then, guys, since we'll probably wrap up everything on Thursday, to be perfectly honest with you, what we'll probably do on Friday, and so you may see this set up already if I decide to do it tomorrow during office hours, I'm probably going to have you guys pick. I'll give you a list so it's not too complicated, but maybe give you a painting and then ask you guys to write your own short poem about a painting of your choice, which I think will be fun. Or I'll pick a painting that's similar to this one and then I have everybody kind of do their own poem on it. That might be easier, I feel like, because I don't want it to be a too complicated thing that takes us like 3,000 years. Maybe I would do it that way, but we'll make it fun. Yes. Okay, guys, so sorry. Try not to make it take forever today. Bye. And if you come to office hours, we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Cody, also, honey, don't forget to hit submit so it saves everything you've already done so we can just pull it up again on Thursday if you can still hear me. Alrighty, bye. You too.